Hello everyone, welcome back to the Midlife ADHD Chat. My name's Maureen. This is video number 4, I believe. I thought today would be a good day to talk about ADHD and menopause. I have lots of thoughts about that. Let's think about this. I always say I always knew I had ADHD. I'm just looking at my phone to make sure I'm in focus. It's connected to my camera. I always say, I always knew I had ADHD. I didn't know, not only did I not know the half of it, I didn't know 90% of it. I had no idea how much ADHD affected me throughout my life. But I was pretty high functioning, and if you don't know what you don't know, you're just thinking, well, kind of either things fall because it's bad luck. Well, I made poor choices. I'm just unorganized. You don't try to look for the reasons why. I think you just accept it, or you don't think about it. You're in denial. When I hit menopause, oh my God. So I started perimenopause around 45. At least my doctor called it that. I kind of just stopped sleeping. I was one of those people, I could sleep. 10 minutes, I would read a book. So this would have been 17 years ago. So before, Facebook and having a phone and all this other stuff. I had a phone, but I didn't have the internet or anything on the phone. And so, of course, that was better for my ADHD brain. So I think there's a lot of layers there. It's not just hormonal for me. I would also say it's very behavioral. It's a lot of blue light. But anyway, so I used to read a book. I always was an avid reader. I'd read a book, fall asleep in 15 minutes, sleep like a baby. I'm not exaggerating. I slept amazing. I was always a great sleeper, always, all through my childhood, everything. I would fall asleep in 10 or 15 minutes, and I'd have a husband next to me snoring. I could still sleep. I would read for 10, 15 minutes, out like a light, sleep for 8 hours, wake up refreshed. Don't remember dreams, slept very soundly, and then I feel like it was overnight. I mean, it probably was more gradual than I remember, but I feel like it was overnight. I just stopped sleeping. It took me a long time to fall asleep. I'd wake up during the night. I'd wake up with thoughts reeling in my head. Not worry thoughts. It wasn't like, anxiety, I'm worried about something. It was just ridiculous thoughts. What's tomorrow's schedule, or a song that keeps playing in my head. And it's only gotten worse. So anyway, I actually didn't run to the doctor. I had a physical coming up maybe 5 months later or something. I brought it up to her. Turns out my old PCP was my age. And she's like, that's perimenopause. And I'm like, what? 45? Perimenopause? Oh my God, what? And she said, yeah. She offered me a prescription. I said, oh no, I'd rather not take meds. So I didn't take any meds. I took melatonin. Worked for a while, helped me fall asleep. Then stopped working. You go up. Like, I think I started at 3, then 5. And, oh my goodness. I have to stop for a moment because I think I have a dog at my door scratching, and that's distracting me. So it might be Primrose who wants to sit with me. For those of you who are new to the channel, Primrose is my toy fox terrier. She's a ham and loves the attention. I'll be right back. Okay, are we filming again? Let's make sure we're filming. I don't want to talk for a half hour and we're not filming. Well, it was Miss Primrose scratching at the door. Say hello, Prim. I know. I love you too. I swear. I know. I love you too, baby. Your breath, not so much, but I do love you. Okay. So Primrose, this is number 4. Primrose was with me for number 1 and 2. And Primrose, you're going to sit on my lap, though, because Mommy gets easily distracted. Right here. All right. She's actually pretty calming for me, too. I stroke her while I try to focus. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but if I'm doing something while I'm trying to think of things and I keep my hands busy, helps my brain focus. So anyway, I'll stay on subject. Very long story short, then at 50, stopped having my periods. So, officially 51 is when I was in menopause. And I had, oh God, a lot of symptoms. So I had a lot of, menopausal symptoms. And a lot of symptoms now I look back at, I kind of blame menopause on. And now I'm realizing, no, I think those were executive dysfunction ADHD symptoms. But very long story short, the regular hot flashes, moody, angry. Oh, God. And you probably have surmised I'm kind of a venter. So good luck to my family. Just really no patience with people. In fact, I used to joke like, oh my God, I'm not very nice. Like, even in my head, like even if I weren't saying how I felt, because obviously you have to have some social graces. You can't just go around saying everything you feel. I'd be like, just in my head, just angry. I'm sure people can relate, So it's such an overlap, I think, menopausal symptoms and ADHD. I'm just going to put my phone up so I can make sure I'm in focus. So anyway, so originally, actually, I was thinking of this channel of talking just about ADHD and menopause, and then I decided to broaden it a little bit for kind of women over 40, women that are in perimenopause, women that are, in menopause, women that are postmenopausal, and we all have ADHD, or we think we have ADHD, or, we have symptoms of ADHD, or we're curious about it, and we wonder if we have it. So that's kind of why I started this. So, oh my goodness, I have my notes. That's why I look away. I'm on my computer. If I don't have bullet points, I will be so off subject. I will talk about everything but the thing I wanted to talk about. So I most definitely need my notes. So I was never a person that was late. I was, and I know a lot of people with ADHD are late. I was never. Now, my mom, who I definitely suspect had ADHD, was always late. Oh my God. Like, she was notoriously late. My God, she was one of those people. I'm sure you have people in your life like this. The function starts at 1, you tell them 12. Because you finally figure out after years of them coming at 1:45 or 2 o'clock that you just say, okay, an hour ahead. Well, that's kind of how, whoops, that was my phone, sorry. That's kind of how we were with my mom. We just learned to, sometimes, you pick your battles, right? She was really bad. I was more like my dad on time. So that area of my life, in fact, I don't think I was a super anxious adult, but I would get very anxious about being on time. That was one thing. Oh my God, if I was late for a class or late for my job, or even just late for a social engagement, that would bother me. But the social engagement is not as much, but for sure. Once menopause hit, oh my God, I am just so bad. I run and I take my job seriously, and I'm not late for my job, but I'm like, I get there, like, I am a companion. I'm a caregiver at a private home. And most of the gals that I work with, they arrive anywhere from, like 10 minutes before the shift starts, something like that. I'm 3 minutes or 2 minutes. On occasion, right on time. So I'm never like officially late, but I'm always like, whoa. And it's always crazy. I have plenty of time because I don't even start my shifts till early afternoon. Most of my shifts are early afternoon, which works great for my sleep schedule. I'm a night owl. That could be a whole nother other video. Anyway, so it works great for me at this point in my life. Like, I'm very grateful that I have a job that I love, and the schedule works for me and for my sleep, because I didn't always have that, of course. Most of us don't. Anyway, I'm up 3-4 hours before I need to leave for work. I'm still running. I'm like, I have that, what do they call it? Is it time blindness? I don't know. I think it is. Anyway, but let me stay on track. So that's part of menopause. I never used to be like that. I just run like a maniac. I'm like, okay, oh yeah, I've got 2 hours. And then I'm on YouTube, Facebook sometimes, but it's usually YouTube. Love to research. So I always have something. The head's always spinning, because for those who haven't watched the other videos, I was diagnosed 2.5 years ago after a very long neuropsych assessment with Combined Type, and I check every symptom box. So I call it severe. The neuropsychologist did not call it severe. He just said, you check every symptom box for, hyperactivity and inattentiveness. So yay me. When I tell you my head's spinning, I've got so many thoughts in my mind all the time. And I'm always curious. So time flies for me. Never does when I'm doing boring things, but when I'm researching, and I love it. Oh my God, I was made for the internet. Love it. I love the research of any subject. It depends on what my focus is at that moment. It could be photography, could be flowers, it could be dogs. I used to do dog rescue. Definitely psychology. That's my background. For sure ADHD. I mean, once I was diagnosed 2.5 years ago, reading all about it. So those 3 or 4 hours fly by. And then I'm running around. And then literally I kind of bargain with myself. Well, I could get ready in like 30 minutes so I can still read this one article. Or I can get ready. Or I look and know I have 5 minutes left and then I have to get up. And I lose track. And 20 minutes have gone by. And now I'm running like a maniac. And I'm running late. And then it's the proverbial, where are my keys? Oh my God, did I pack my phone in my briefcase? Where's my phone? Oh my God, let me run upstairs to get my phone. It is crazy. It's chaos. It's unnecessary. I literally get mad at myself, and I do it every day. And I will say my husband's pretty patient. In fact, he works from home. And, he will, and he has ADHD. It's undiagnosed. I know he does. But we present very differently. And he is much more organized about this kind of stuff, always on time. And so he'll go start my car for me and kind of on occasion yell up, hey, Mo, it's 1 o'clock. Aren't you supposed to be leaving? And I'm like, oh my God, I have to get dressed, one of those. Anyway, so that is a huge difference. I never used to be like that. That is like craziness. The brain fog. Oh, we can all relate to that, right? Walking into the room. Why'd I come in? I'm talking. I mean, I'm surprised that in the past videos that I've made, I actually have reviewed them and I have stayed on topic. That is like a minor miracle because I must just be very, very aware, and really focusing hard because in general, oh goodness, it is hard for me to stay on focus for sure. I just talked about the anger and resentment. Oh, I used to joke about the holding the grudge and the resentment. Oh, it must be because I'm Irish. Ha ha ha. I blame a lot on, it must be because I'm Irish. Holding a grudge or obsessive thoughts like going through my head or, it's like that is new. I never used to be like that. I'm like, oh my God, it's just awful. What did I write down? What symptoms feel worse in my 40s and 50s and 60s? Because I'm 62. Oh goodness. Because that's something I really would love everybody. And again, I will say this, only if you are comfortable. But if you are comfortable, because I do want this to be a group chat, not all about me babbling about myself, but a place where we can kind of support each other. We can vent. If you're comfortable, I would love some comments about, are you in menopause? Has it affected you? Have you noticed that your ADHD symptoms are worse? Or are you in perimenopause and you've noticed it? I for sure have noticed they have exploded. And I see a therapist weekly and I do talk to her about this. And then I do wonder sometimes, well, is it because I was officially diagnosed? So I've really done a deep dive, and now that I'm aware of the symptoms, I'm thinking, that they're, I've had them only since menopause, but maybe I was always kind of like, maybe I did have some of these symptoms before. I'm sure I had some, but so bad. Mood swings, I wrote. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, mood swings. Oh, my Lord. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a rageaholic or anything like that. But you know what I do? I noticed this today, and I actually made a mental note. I have to include this in my videos. Like, what the heck was I doing? Something so simple. Like, I'd literally be embarrassed if you listened to me. What was I trying to do? I was trying to do something. If you could have heard, I sound like a trucker's mouth. I joke, like, I always say to my 25-year-old, when you were growing up, I didn't swear. And she laughs. Oh, yeah, sure. I go, no, I'm not kidding. I did not. I mean, not that I was a nun or something, but, in front of my kid and everything, I didn't. Oh, now, are you kidding? Oh, my God, cover your ears. Please. All the time. Anyway, I was like enraged at something. And when I say enraged, it's not even yelling. It's more like, what the hell? And it was like trying to open a bottle or something. Oh, I know what it was. Mouthwash. Oh, my loving God. Do you really need to put the plastic over it? I'm running out. I was meeting a friend for lunch, running late. And believe me, social engagements, I'm much more relaxed. So now I'm always 15 or 20 minutes late for my social engagements when I do go out. And that could be another whole video. Because I'll tell you, if I'm in hyperfocus and I need to do something socially or go to work, oh man, I hate breaking that hyperfocus. But that'll be another video. Anyway, so yeah, it's been worse, to say the least. And I really hope if you're comfortable doing, if you just stop by and listen, awesome. For sure. You are more than welcome. And please never feel ever any kind of pressure, to put a comment. But I will say this. Those that are feeling comfortable to comment does help people. I have learned a lot. And I've watched videos, and as you could see, I'm a fairly verbose person, like to talk, but I watched videos where for whatever reason I didn't want to comment, but I would read the comments, and I really would derive comfort or education or, whatever from different videos. So it's all helpful. So if you have, can resonate, if anything what I'm saying resonates with you, whether you're in perimenopause or menopause and you feel like ADHD has gotten much worse for you, please throw a comment down. I talked about used to fall asleep. Oh my God, this is huge. I wrote, one of the sentences I wrote, and I wrote different topics, and, I have to kind of structure myself. I pretend that I'm back in college, and, my brain worked better back then, partly because of my age, but also clearly between the brain fog of menopause and ADHD. I could never function like I used to. I really don't think I could cognitively. But anyway, so I, prepared a lot and wrote down topics. And then I'd write just like bullet points as a reminder to me. So one of them I just wrote last week whenever I did this. I also feel like late night is my time. And I feel resentful that I have to go to sleep. Now, is this logical? Probably not. I mean, I'm 62. It's not like my mummy's making me go to bed. I'm not sure why I feel resentful, but so I'll get into bed. Sometimes at 8 or 9, and I'm a night owl. 8 or 9 is like when I'm just getting going, for God's sake. But I'll have this is why I wonder why I can't sleep. I'll have my laptop on my lap, my phone right next to me, and my TV going, usually with YouTube on it. And it's all usually information driven. So it's not even like relaxing. I mean, it's not like every single time, but I'd say the majority of the time is about information. Sometimes I'll watch a movie on YouTube or whatever. I love to watch some of the old movies, like, either really old, like the 40s and 50s, or even some, recently I watched a few after school specials. I don't know if you're my age, you might remember them from like the 80s, 70s and 80s. But anyway, but I get there and I'm just like, no, this is my time. Like, no, everyone's sleeping. No one wants me. Thank God. If you're new to my channel, I've got 4 rescue animals. I've got a long-haired tortie, a little beautiful girl named Tilda, a golden retriever mix, Daphne. We have Miss Primrose, you just met her. She is on my lap right now. She's our toy fox terrier. And then we have Tasha. And Tasha, we adopted 6 years ago, and she is a Yorkie Chihuahua. I guess they call them Chorkies. I would say she was from a hoarding situation with a bunch, like 37, I think. 37, 27. Chihuahuas and Yorkies. And I'd say she's more Chihuahua than Yorkie, but she is both. So her bark is, whoo, talk about an alarm clock. Oh, man, that'll wake you. Anyway, so, I admit I treat them like my four-legged children, so they're quite spoiled. My fault. But it is what it is. So I give them a lot of my attention. And, by the time everyone's tucked in, I've got an adult daughter, but, she's pretty much on her own. I give her attention, but, not like when she was younger. And then I have my husband. And he's on his own, we do what we do, right? So anyway, but I get into bed and I'm like, and I'm a caregiver, full time. I'm just like, it's all about me. And I do feel resentful if I have to sleep early. And partly I'm just naturally my brain, the way it functions. And from what I've read, this is a lot of people with ADHD are like this. We tend to be night owls. Not sure how many, but I've read that that's fairly common. So, and I always have been a night owl. So, I'll stay up late. And, again, I have all this blue light. So, of course, behaviorally, not a smart idea. I'm stimulating my brain, but I'm also getting all these dopamine rushes from all my research and all that. So, anyway, I'm getting off subject, I think. But that has worsened. Oh, my God, since menopause. I think one of the worst symptoms, and I had hot flashes for years, and they suck. Oh, God, they suck. They were horrible. The trickle of sweat down your back, your elbow, where I would notice is like my elbow creases had sweat. My fingertips felt sweaty. All these bizarre areas. I'm like, oh yeah, that sucked. I'm waking up during the night. Oh man, that sucked. So I have a few friends that didn't have that bad of hot flashes or symptoms, and God bless them. They were very lucky. Not me. And I had them for quite a few years. Those are gone, thank you, God. But I've got to tell you, I think the worst symptom for me, and this is, I think, a mix of ADHD and menopause, is the sleep. Because let's be honest, if you don't have good sleep, and I feel like I haven't had the good sleep I used to have for 17 years, really. I have good sleep some nights, but oh my goodness, not like I used to. Where you fall asleep and then you wake up 8 hours later, refreshed. Don't have that. And that affects everything. And that makes my ADHD symptoms so much worse. Oh my goodness. So if anyone can relate to that and have sleep issues since hitting menopause with ADHD, please comment, because I can't be the only one. Oh my God. I laugh because I do have kind of a philosophy in life. I am a fixer and I'm a solution focused gal. And if I can fix something, believe me, I try. I'm one of those people. I'm kind of a go-getter, and I don't believe in just like throwing my hands up in the air and saying, oh, well. On the other hand, I have learned in a program, which, will probably be another video, but in recovery, that definitely will be down the road. We can talk more about ADHD and addiction for sure. That's a huge subject. That'll be quite a few videos, I think. But anyway, I did learn. I used to go to AA meetings, and I for sure learned, kind of the philosophy, one day at a time. Keep it simple. I kind of feel like I'm one of those people that's kind of like, it is what it is sometimes. Sometimes you just got to accept things. Sometimes it's like, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Try to have a sense of humor about things. And so, I try with my ADHD symptoms and menopause. Oh, mama. Okay, yes, I really do. I do try. I just want to make sure that, I talked about I used to manage and now I can't. Oh my goodness. I wrote for myself, the brain overactivity. I already spoke about that. I'll lay in bed. My brain just goes a mile a minute. The other morning, was it Sunday morning? I was going to film my first video. So I've been planning this, like I started this channel, I thought of it like 10 days before. And then I'm doing tons of research. I can't just be, oh yeah, I'll get my phone out and just, whip out a video. I have to like research it perfectly, spend hours. I can't just use a phone, which would be so much easier. I have to use my expensive camera equipment for the best possible, videos. And, kind of that's good, I guess. My thought is I have the expensive equipment, might as well put them to use. But it's a whole new ball game. I am a hobbyist photographer. I'm not a videographer, so now I have to learn all about that. Then I have to get a lavalier microphone, so wait for that to come in. And then I had to get a different kind of tripod because that one wasn't right. It's crazy. Go through all this. Well, anyway, after all of that, and I'm on ChatGPT looking for ideas and, trying to help. I'm literally looking for AI to help organize my thoughts, quite honestly. But I woke up. I can't believe this. Sunday morning, and this is such an example of me, when I have anything important on my mind, and again, it isn't anxiety, so it's not like I have something worrying, right? Like that makes sense, right? Oh, if you're worried about something, you have anxiety, of course you're going to wake up earlier or it's hard to fall asleep. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about either innocuous, neutral things just whizzing around in my head when I put my head on the pillow. Ding, 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 ding. It's like a pinball or something, bing, bing, bing. And free association do that all the time too. You think of one thing that reminds you of something else, or reminds you of something else. Oh, Lord. But also, I want to get back to this. I just had a thought, a Little House on the Prairie. I hope I'll remember that. But also just, so I woke up at 6:57. I don't even know if I've ever in my life woken up that early on a Sunday morning. Ever. I mean, maybe I have, but I don't think so. Could not fall back to sleep. Just couldn't. Again, I'm not feeling anxiety. If anything, I'm feeling a bit excitement. Like I was excited to start this. And especially if I'm working hard on something, like it's almost like, come on, I just want to do it, So in excitement / impatience. But I could not fall back to sleep. Oh my goodness. And now I'm working on not enough sleep because the night before I'd done an overnight shift. So usually I make up for it Saturday night and, sleep late Sunday morning, try to recoup some hours, but nope, wasn't going to happen. So finally at 7, I was like, well, this is stupid. I've been laying around for an hour. I'm getting up. And then, got stuff done and whatever. But yeah, not fun. I'm trying not to blab on. I do want to do one funny thing because I do think there's so much humor in ADHD. I really do. Again, that if you don't laugh, you'll cry kind of philosophy. But, there is a lot of humor in it. It's funny. It's goofy. It's weird. It's ironic. It's, Anyway, I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'll free associate. I have always done that. So that is part of my ADHD, even from younger years. I always kind of thought it was kind of cool. I was always like not connecting the ADHD part really, but kind of thinking, gee, my brain works so fast. Wow, I must be really smart because my brain works so quick. I think of all these thoughts. Meanwhile, I'm interrupting people. The brain's all over the place. I'm talking a mile a minute. So behaviorally, it's not really working for me, but I'm thinking it's kind of cool. I think all these thoughts. I would say that's probably gotten worse since menopause too, for goodness sake. I would definitely for sure. So last week I was telling my therapist this. So I do Zoom, for therapy. I'm up, I'm drinking my coffee. It's an hour before therapy. I'm doing my usual, trying to kind of wake up with my coffee. I like an hour before you ask anything from me, to be honest with you. I kind of really need that in the morning. I'm one of those people that I'm not going to be vacuuming the house at 9 a.m. I've always joked I'm more 9 p.m. might be more likely to vacuum than 9 a.m. But anyway, so I'm up and about. I'm drinking my coffee. This is my quiet time. All the animals have gotten their treats. The husband's working. He works from home. The kiddos, at her job. It's nice and quiet. And this is a nice time for me. I like my first couple of hours in the morning if I can have at least 2. Anyway, 1, but 2 would be better. So I'm aware of the time. I have the same time every week in therapy. I love therapy. I'm not trying to put it off. I love it. It's very beneficial. Love it. So I'm definitely not trying to be late for it purposely or subconsciously or anything. I look and I know I have 15 minutes. So I'm looking, oh, well, that's fine. I'm just going to run and brush my teeth quick after my coffee, before my therapy. That's, a 2-minute deal. So in my usual brain, this is how my 2-minute deals work. I'm not exaggerating. It's 2 minutes before my therapy session. I guess I'll go run and brush my teeth. Yeah. Oh, after the bathroom, do that too. Let me brush my hair quick. So then I'm 3 minutes late for therapy because I always think in my head it only takes 2 minutes. Yeah, it takes like 7. Anyway, that's ongoing too. But this is a free association. I am not exaggerating with this. I actually I brought it up to the therapist right away because I thought I'd forget. Now we're like at 15 minutes before my therapy starts, and I'm on YouTube. I'm looking on YouTube, and on the right of me is a thumbnail of Melissa Sue Anderson, if you remember her from Little House on the Prairie. And it talked about, she was in some after-school special movie from the 80s. And I look quickly, and literally this all goes through my head. Oh my God, Melissa Sue Anderson. Oh my God, what was her name in Little House on the Prairie? No, she wasn't Half Pint. That was Laura. That was Melissa Gilbert. Oh, no. What was her name? She was blind. Remember she went blind? Oh, when she had the most beautiful, clear, crystal blue eyes. Mary. That's right. That was her name, Mary. Oh, I love that show. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wasn't that sad? What happened to Michael Landon? Oh, I loved him, and he died so young of cancer. That was so sad. And what was the mom's name? Oh, I loved her, too. She was a great actress. Beautiful woman, too. I loved that show. I mean, this is all going on. So I have all that. While I'm thinking all of this, I click on the movie. Lost whole track of time. Now I'm at, 12 minutes before my therapy appointment. So I start watching the movie. I'm not kidding. 2 minutes after I'm due for therapy, I jump up. And I think it was only because I had to go to the bathroom. But I kind of had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot what day it was watching that first 12 minutes of that show. I forgot what day it was. I was so engrossed in thinking about Little House on the Prairie and Melissa Sue Anderson and the movie and after school. And then that starts free association. Oh, after school. Yeah. So when, well, gee, I would have been a little older during this. If that was 83, then how old would I have been? Oh, I guess I would have been like 19 or 20. So I probably wasn't watching after school. That's probably why I don't remember this movie. I'm not kidding. And this happens all the time. Bing, 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 bing. So this is, again, I have the hyperactive and the inattentive part of ADHD. ADHD, I'm combined type, so yippee. But anyway, you got to laugh. It's kind of funny, right? What are you going to do? So I think I should, my videos start to get longer and longer, I'm noticing as I'm editing. So I am probably going to stop now. And I am just going to reiterate, if you are comfortable, I would love to hear from you. I'm hoping that we can grow a community of women with ADHD who are in midlife, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, beyond. And we can kind of commiserate, we can laugh, we can cry, we can talk about, the sad, the embarrassment, the shame. We can talk about the funny parts of it, the creative parts. I mean, there's a balance in everything in life, I think. But I would love to hear from you. So if you're comfortable doing it, I would love to hear some comments. I would love it if you could like the video. And if you could share, I mean, if you know any woman in your life that's in midlife and, she may have ADHD, either diagnosed or she thinks she might have ADHD and you think she could benefit, please send her along to this channel. I'm hoping we can grow a community. So I think we'll have Primrose help say goodbye. Prim? She's digesting her supper, I think. I love how she looks.